Hello, everyone. I'm back again, and my name is Robin Da Vinci. And if you like what I'm saying, please like and subscribe. That would be helpful. As you know, if you've watched any of my videos on YouTube, you know that I've been working in the financial world for 40 years, and I've worked with a lot of high net worth people and their personal lives and budgets and things like that. So I have a lot of experience when it comes to money and how people spend it and how wealthy people stay wealthy and the mistakes that we all make with our cash. So today I want to talk about how to use your debit card and your credit card more intelligently. Some of my clients that I coach don't understand where their cash goes. How can I save money when my checking account is drained all the time? And one of the big things that I find for you people that use your debit card a lot, and believe me, I am not anti-debit card because I think that a debit card is a smart way not to build debt on your credit card, but it also drains your cash account for the big things you might need to pay. So in other words, if you go to Starbucks every day and get a latte and a sandwich and you're paying $12 and you add a tip and you put that all on your debit card, then that's coming out of your cash immediately. Cash and debit cards are the same thing. If something hits your checking account, the minute that you do it, you might as well have gone to the ATM, taken out cash, and handed it to someone because they're the same thing. So the only way you are getting your checking account drained is that you are not going on to your online banking and looking at your activity. I have encouraged the teenagers that I coach to get a receipt with every single cash or ATM transaction and then go online and see what came out. And do they match up? Because that's the only way you connect the cash that you're taking out is by then following up and checking it off. Don't laugh at me. This is really old school, I know, but people haven't changed. And when it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So every day, every other day, but never let more than a week go by where you don't take the receipts of the week that you have either spent with cash or by using your debit card and check it off from the bank statement. Check it off from bank activity. You do not have to wait till the end of the month to get activity. You can go on every day and see the activity. And you will see when you drive through coffee place or drive through the hamburger place or run in and pick up lunch at some place at a restaurant and you use your debit card. If you go home, that'll be right there pending on your bank activity. There is no waiting period anymore. This is all done electronically. They take the money right away. So don't think like in the old days when you wrote a check, put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, and mailed it, that you're going to get any lag time between what comes out of your checking account and what ends up in their pocket. So don't do that, because in the old days we'd say, oh, we mailed a check. It'll take 5 days for them to get it, and then it'll take 5 days for them to deposit. Well, most companies now do it electronically. They have it at their desk. They open an envelope from you paying something. They're big centers. They deposit them immediately at their desk. Like when you go to a teller, they have the teller machines at their desk. All of my clients have a teller machine. And when they get paid, we clear it immediately. So number one, no lag time on ATM. ATM means cash. Please, debit card means cash. Even if it says Visa on there, the Visa just means it's guaranteed. That doesn't mean it's going onto a statement anywhere. If you use a debit card to pay for something and it's coming out of your checking account, it's coming out immediately. Just because it says Visa at the bottom or MasterCard doesn't mean it's not coming out. The only other way to buy things, if you don't get cash, is through a credit card. And you need to use your credit card intelligently. And you will get some interest accumulating, but you need to go to your credit cards and see what the cutoff date is. And if you are sincerely in an emergency and you need to buy something, buy it after the credit card cutoff date. Because let's say your cutoff date is February 16th. but your payment date is March 10th. Well, what you do is then you buy something on February 20th, which means that will show up on your April statement. So you've bought yourself a little bit of time. I'm not saying don't pay for your credit card. You're going to have to pay. And if you don't get it paid in full, you're going to have to pay interest. After all, the credit card companies are giving you unsecured money. Very important to understand, when you have a credit card with a $10,000 limit, they are saying they believe in you enough to give you unsecured money, which means there's no collateral. They can't take your house. They can't take your car. They can't take your oldest child. They can't do anything. They can only wait for you to pay. And yes, they charge you interest. So even though they're giving you a privilege, they're charging you interest, and they should. They're giving you money that's unsecured. But there is a wise way to use your credit card. So I encourage you, sit down, look at your credit cards, look at what the cutoff dates is. Does your card go from January 10th to February 10th, and then you have to pay it by March 3rd? Well, they give you leeway. So work that to get yourself the maximum amount of time you need to have a debt show up. That doesn't mean you don't pay it. That doesn't mean you might not have interest, but be smarter. Also, one of the ways I think it's smarter to use your debit card is to go get cash and budget that cash. Do not just arbitrarily use your debit card and not know what it's doing. If you know you need $300 for the week and you pay cash, you go get the $300, put your debit card back in your wallet or purse or wherever, and then that $300 goes toward everything and you keep the receipts. That way you've connected to your cash instead of just putting a card in, sliding a card, and then not going on your bank activity. So I do that. I go get cash and then I spend the cash and I keep all the receipts and I write on the receipt what it was for. And then I go on the bank and I look at my activity and I say, okay, that $300, this is what I spent it on. Otherwise, if I do use my debit card, I take the receipt, I go on it and make sure that it worked. I'm going to tell you a story about a credit card before I end this, to let you know that I was at a restaurant and I got the bill. I had taken some friends out for dinner and I got the bill, put the tip on it, signed it, gave it back. And I went on to my credit card statement and found I had 2 different charges from that restaurant on the same day. And I had my receipt. Now you have to understand, everybody, when you don't keep your receipt, you're mistaken, because the receipt has a special number specifically for your dinner, the name of your server or the number of your server. They number them so that you have a record of what happened. So I get out my receipt from that dinner when I look at the credit card, and yeah, it's there. And then there's another one similar, probably $10 different, similar on there, but I don't have a receipt for it. So I drive down to the restaurant and I bring out my receipt and I bring my statement, my credit card activity. And I said, why do I have 2? This is the only dinner I bought. And it turns out that my server used my credit card to buy dinner for his friends as well. And after I signed my card, he signed the other dinner and he put his friend's dinner as a server on my credit card and then charged me. So I had 2 dinners, but 1 receipt. So the restaurant had to reimburse me the other one, found out who the server was by the number on my receipt, and we got it solved. So you not looking at your credit card statement or you not keeping receipts is the reason your bank account and your credit cards are higher than they should be and the bank accounts are lower than they should be, because you're not connecting to your cash and you're not connecting to your credit cards. The bank is a computer that does what it's told, in, out, in, out. It's up to you as the individual to take responsibility for where the money's going and how it's being spent. And unless you check it out, do you think they care? No. If you're willing to pay for things that you didn't buy and you're willing to get charged for dinners you didn't eat and you're willing to spend your cash wildly without keeping track of it, there's no one on the other side that's going to look out for you. Now, they do have some fraud things in place. You must have charged something like maybe you're traveling and you use your card and it goes, fraud alert, fraud alert. You pick up your phone and there's a text on it that says, we're just checking, did you just do this transaction? And then you type in, yes, I did. And they let it go through, or they tell you, can you have the vendor put it through again? If you're ignoring all of that, that's the reason your bank accounts are getting drained and your debt is getting higher, because you, the one that's responsible for your cash and credit, you're not paying attention. So you can check your credit card once a week, go on and look at the activity, dispute it. But if you don't have something to back up your dispute, it's going to take longer. Keeping those receipts. And let me tell you, I'm in line all the time and someone says, do you want the receipt? They go, no, just throw it away. No, keep it. All you have to do is get an envelope January, February, and just put them in there. Put them in there. Back yourself up. Connect again to credit and cash. I've been saying this for years. Please connect. Please connect. Go to your bank. Hold your bank responsible. Hold your credit card company responsible, but hold yourself ultimately responsible for all of that. So I hope this helps, because people don't think about it. And I'm coaching teenagers now and they don't know any of that. So if I can't coach your teenager, you can. So sit them down and explain these things to them, please, so that they don't make the same mistakes that you're making, or that your family made, or that your parents made. Let's stop the mistakes and let's keep more of our money. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Again, my name is Robin Da Vinci and I'm here to help. Thank you so much.